I'd like to see Nate fight at 155. He said it's not Tony, which I thought was a banger of a fight, but if you could book Nate in a fight at 155, who do you put him against?
I think if he's going to come down to 155, he should come down for me, to be honest with you. You know, I hear maybe giving him a shot in there, but Nate's a warrior. Nate's a goer. Nate shows up, steps up and fights. You know, there's no need to be having him do... I wouldn't want to see him... It's not necessary, I don't feel, to have him fight at 155 against another contender. I feel maybe it should be me and Nate. You know, if he's going to do 155, we could possibly do that for the belt. If not, I'd probably just fight Nate at 170 pounds again. Reason being, we fought at 170 twice. Why mix it up for the trilogy? You know, but if there's belts and titles and loftier things on the line, for certain, a 155 pound challenge with Nate would be something. So many great fights and many great options, and I'm pretty excited about every single one of them.
Lovely stuff. And the last one from me, you posted on Instagram a few days ago a picture of yourself before the Eddie Alvarez fight and yourself before the Donald Cerrone fight facing off, and you said that the guy sitting in front of me now would beat both of them easily. I would like to know how do you beat those two versions of McGregor?
I am just faster. I am sharper. I am more, mentally tuned in. I am certainly more well conditioned, and that's it. It's me in fast forward. That's how I feel right now, and that's a great place to be in. It was not easy to get to that place. It was a lot of hard work, and I didn't just come here to get here. I am continuing to go forward and climb forward. I don't think I've even reached my potential. I don't even think I'm 50% yet, so let's keep going.
Coming into this, as far as this matchup, Dana White said in an interview recently that you came to him after the last fight and kind of said, what's the lay of the land here? Like, where is my career going from here? Can you kind of recall that meeting and what your thoughts were going in and after what you took away from speaking with him?
Yeah, we just wanted to see what was going, what was the road, what the road looked like, and he pretty much said what he said, He said, go out there, just keep working, kid, and we see what happens. We figure it out, and we always do, Like I said, all I can control is what I do. So in the octagon, and come Saturday night, I'm gonna go do my job, and then I got a manager to control all those things outside the octagon, and he's going to have to do his job after Saturday night. But first things first, I got to go in there, do my thing, and show the world what's up.
You said yourself, we spoke many a times, and I was interested by the media scrum you just did there, and you talked about Conor McGregor and potentially wanting to fight him in the future. Usually you've kind of not got into that too much and brushed it off a little bit. What changed where you're kind of more open and more thinking about that fight?
I always see what happens. I'm just a competitor. You know what I mean? I'm a competitor, and the guy was retired. And all of a sudden he came back from retirement, So everybody who keep telling me, leave DC alone, he's retired. I was like, no, you guys don't, Look, if Conor come back, DC could come back, and DC know who the baddest man on planet is, and he needs to see me, DC showed me the house that he bought recently. Looks like a damn castle, so he might be out of retirement sooner than later. So hit me up, DC. You know where to go, where to find me.
How do you balance the momentum that he has right now? Because I mean, I guess the lack of momentum. So he's obviously 1-3 in his last 4 fights, but it's 2 times to the champ. Last fight being a split decision. The loss was to Poirier, other than the champ. Then he beat Frankie Edgar, and he beat Ortega outside of that. So it's like you can't look at like the record, you can't look at the skid that he's kind of on. How do you balance that overall like kind of momentum and try to feel where he's at in his career right now and how he's going to show up to fight you?
Yeah, you got to imagine you're always going to fight the best Max Holloway, right? You don't ever think you're going to go fight the guy on. And sometimes people on skids, man, they're dangerous. They're doing everything they can. They're fighting for their contract and just to get a W, like you're saying. But when you fight a guy like Max Holloway, man, he's already got all the accolades. So his name carries weight itself. And the guys he lost to, they're no scrubs, like you mentioned. So anytime you get an opportunity against a guy like Max, you picture you're fighting the best Max Holloway that's ever stepped foot in there, and you're gonna have to make him deal with the skill set that you bring to the table. We're not just going to overreact to what Max Holloway does. We're going to make him adjust to what we do too. There's a reason why we got this opportunity in the first place.
Yeah, and especially when he fought the champ and then came back, fought him again, and then it was a split decision in the end. It wasn't like he got put away with nothing like that. So I mean, he's obviously not getting sidetracked, or he's not slowing down for sure.
Yeah.
You can say he's only.
And that's kind of like my argument. I say a little bit too. It's like you see the way I'm losing, and you see the way I'm winning.
Yeah.
It's important to see the difference, and so I feel once we tighten up a couple of those little mental errors, things like that, we're really going to be a lot for these guys to deal with.
I mean, we all know Holloway. We all know, we've all seen him fight. He's fought the best out there. He's well-rounded. Where do you see, without giving away any strategy, where do you see yourself being strong in this fight or having a good advantage?
Obviously, I go in there. They got to deal with phase one, which is the stand-up, and then from there, I'm really just looking to mix it up. I just take what he gives. With Jeremy, I was happy to showcase a little bit of Muay Thai with the elbow. And I'd like to show more of my game, man. But it all starts phase one in the stand up, and if they can't get through that, I'm gonna stay there. And if they can, then we're gonna move on it. And just like I said, take what he gives us. A guy like Max, you can't go out there looking for things. You look for things, you're gonna be sitting duck, waiting for something that might never come. And then so we're just gonna go in there, react to everything he does, and we feel like we know. What he's going to bring to the table or have an idea, but you always got to be ready to make real-time adjustments in there because that's what true champions do. They overcome any adversity that happens while it's happening, not after, when you could sit back, slow it down and put it in slow motion and break it down. You got to do it real time.
Yeah, it sounds like you're ready for that as well. Do you have an exact prediction in your mind how the fight's going to go?
Just me getting my hand raised, and by any means necessary. It's like I was saying, I just visualized more of like the hand being raised more so than the shot landing. Although I see certain ways that I can end the fight, and we'll be looking for that from start to finish. But at the end of the day, man, I'm just trying to get my hand raised and then chase that life on a win over Max Holloway. Chase that lifestyle. That's what I'm looking for. Always chasing that life on a win of the next guy you fight, man, because it's always better than the loss.
That's what I was kind of getting back to in the beginning, is it's got to change your fight camp and your lifestyle since our previous podcast a couple months ago. Being that, you're chasing the win over Max Holloway now, but you're also, training for a fight with Max Holloway right now. There's something to that as well. You got to be riding out a little bit. There's got to be some kind of momentum for you and excitement and drive to go along with just that alone. Just getting and knowing that he's this guy, the number one contender of the division, is getting ready to fight you now, not somebody else.
Yep, no, 100%. And stepping in there though, I always feel like I'm fighting. They get the best Calvin kid every time I step in there.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter who they are. I don't fight down to my opponent. And I feel like anytime I'm an underdog or have to fight up and my back's against the wall and I have doubters, then I feel like that's when I'm at my best, when I have more doubters, more people to silence. And I'll have a lot of them this time around.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I don't know. I was talking to my producer that, we're going to have to do fighter meetings, and hopefully we can get through that without any German comments. But well, my last name is German, right? My dad's side, I hate talking about this with people that aren't American, because I know I'm not Irish. I'm not German. I'm not Italian. I'm not Swedish. I'm American. I get that, okay? I also did not give myself the Irish Dragon nickname. As a matter of fact, I fought against it for the first few fights of my pro career because I freaking hated it. I thought it was stupid. It got put together because I did karate. Lyoto Machida was one of my favorite fighters, the Dragon. And then this guy was like, well, you're Irish, the Irish Dragon. And he started saying it on a YouTube video. CFFC got a hold of it when I was fighting for them. And they were like, they just called me that the one fight. And it stuck. So I'm not trying to claim any heritage and this and that. Obviously, I'm of Irish descent. You can take one look at me. You can also see the German in me and my better jawline than most of the Irish. But, yeah, it's silly. And he's poked fun at me on social media and then deletes them. And it's just, I think he's just fucking with me, to be honest with you. You know, he's like that. He's not an idiot, man. He'll poke at anybody in case you climb the ranks and you're next. You know, he's already won a guy. He's like that.
Do you have any intention of asking him during the fight meeting, like, so why?
No, I know why. Because I'm calling myself the Irish Dragon, and he's like, well, your last name is German, so what the hell are you talking about? So, if I ever had to fight him, maybe I'd come out as the German Dragon for that one, just for fun. But yeah, but it's all good, you know. And I don't think that's going to come up in fighter meetings, but we shall see.